All right, so I believe by now we now understand some of the skill sets we need to have regarding to managing the Jupyter notebook. I think the last one was how to convert comment to plain text, which I believe I was about giving you a shortcut, right? Another way of doing it. If you don't want to go through the initial steps that I give to you, you can just make sure that you are inside that particular cell and then press the escape key on your keyboard. There is a key with the lever ESC. Just press it, and once you press it, and then you press letter M. Press letter M, you see that what that escape and letter M has done is what we achieved with Markdown. The once is already in this color, blue color, then you can now hold down the shift and press what? The enter once because you are using shortcut. But in the case, the other time we press shift and enter twice. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so it's either way, anyone you feel that. Okay, so now that we understand these basic things, let's quickly start learning the program properly, Python. So the first thing is for us to understand what is called variable. What is called variable. That is the first thing. So let me use comment to also highlight it. Variable in Python. Variable in Python. So I want to convert it to heading. So I'll mark it down. Mark it down. Variables in Python. So how do we define variable? What is variable? Sorry. Just a second. So what is variable in Python? So variables are, what is variable? So variables are containers used in holding values within a program. So I say they are what? They are container used to hold values within the program memory, within the program memory. So every programming language has a memory where it stores its basic functions. So what we are saying is that you want to write a program, and some of the information we are going to, or you are going to use to write that program are outside the program. They are not yet recognized or acknowledged by the programming language you are using. So how do you, first of all, initiate them into the program so that you can always reference them from their respective storage? That is what brought about the variable concept in programming. Now, most of these things that I'm going to be talking about, they are the same across other programming languages. So if this happened to be the very first programming language you are learning, it means that the next time you want to learn another programming language, you have already understood it to 30 to 40%. Okay, so generally, not just Python, variables, there is no programmer that programs without using variables. Okay? Because you cannot tell me that all the data, all the information, or the values that will be required for that application or programming are already built in Python. Though we have the ones that are already built in programming languages are referred to as keywords. They are referred to as keywords. Okay? Now, so that is why we need variable in programming. Now, let's quickly look at variable syntax. Variable syntax. Remember, I've spoke about syntax. You can see I've started using the 10 variables. Variable declaration syntax. Variable declaration syntax. Now, like I have said before, syntax are set of rules that governs Go code writing. They are set of rules that governs code writing across all the programming languages. So what actually makes you to feel or to feel that you are a Python programmer? It is because you understand Python programming syntax. If you also say that you understand C#, it also means that you also understand C# syntax. Okay, so syntax are code structure, the formats. Every language has its own, different from the other. Okay, so what we are saying is that this same variable concept, the word variable, is the same. In other words, they are containers used for holding values within a program memory. But the manner or the way you acknowledge them differs across programming languages. So, but the fact that you are learning a variable in Python, you should know the syntax on how to declare it in Python. When you come across another programming language, it's that same variable, but we definitely have a different what? Declaration syntax. That is what I want to quickly explain to us. Okay, so now every variable or Python variable has 3 sections which we need to acknowledge. So let's look at the syntax now. What are the parts, the section that makes up the variable? One, we have the variable name. Variable name section. Now, we also have the second part is the assignment. We refer to it in programming as assignment. The assignment operators. We are going to talk about operators later. And then finally, we have the value. We have the value section. All right, so like I was saying, so these 3 parts cannot be missing, or one of them cannot be missing. If one is missing, Python is going to output error. That is, you have not fully obeyed the rule. That's why I said syntax are rules that must be obeyed, depending on the programming language you are using. So let's quickly look at the live code now. Let's say, for example, there is a task. You have question?
No, please.
Okay. So let's assume that you are given a task. And what is the task? The task is create variable. Create variables that stores different names of persons. Let's assume. So which means that you want to develop an app, for example, and 3 people names are needed in programming that app. So you ask yourself, these names, are they already programmed within Python? If the answer is no, then you have to introduce them into Python memory using variable. That is why on the other way around, we can say variables are used or are concepts used in programming to introduce external information into the program memory. Now, like I said, it has 3 declaration parts. The first one is the name. So the name is, I will say, okay, the first name. Let's say the first name. Now remember, in the other section, I explained that whenever you are using 2 words, always make sure that there is underscore in between them, or they should be together. It's very important we understand this. So I cannot say first name like this. It is wrong. It's against the Python naming rules, variable naming rules. So now in terms of case, because Python is case sensitive, where you use small letter is different from where you use capital letter. So there is a standard case we use, which is called camel case in programming. Camel case is where the first word all through is small letter, while any other word, the first letter of that word will be capital letter. For example, now name, you can see it. So this is camel case. Okay, so this is the name aspect. So for example, if I stop here now, let's say I stop here and I come and tell Python print variable first name, variable first name. You see, if I run my code, there will be an error. Python will output what? Error. So it's still trying to initialize this. Good. So you can see a bunch of errors here, just because you disobey the variable what? Rules, the variable declaration rule. And what is missing? Python being an AI, or the highest AI programming language, will always tell you where the error is. And mind you, when you have errors like this, pay more attention to the key error. The key error is always the last line of the error code. So because sometimes when you start from here, you might get confused. So what you do is that you pay attention to this. This is where Python has summarized the error by telling you that what? The name, first name, is not defined. So it's a data type, which we are going to discuss probably in our next meeting. Data types in programming is a data type. So anytime you see it undefined or not defined, it means that what? Something is missing. That is what it means. Now, what is missing, I have been able, and Python is intelligent enough to capture the area is suspecting, which you are to check. So this is debugging that I spoke about. There's no way you'll be a programmer that you will not learn debugging. So you say now that you wrote a code and the code outputted error, as a programmer, you shouldn't run away. This is where your critical thinking, your debugging skill comes in. Ability to identify where the error is and provide a solution. For example, now I will check, okay, name. Oh, so the capture is what? This. So within my code, I will trace where I have that particular word. Okay, here. So now you now discover that Python is correct. Okay, so because we have not completed the rule, we only supply the variable name. We have not given what? The operator, and also assigned value in it. So operator in programming, they are signs which are used to perform different operations. is a topic on its own that we are going to talk about, operators in programming or in Python. For example, they have different notation. So in programming, where you use one equal sign like this, it does not mean equality as it is known in programming. Sorry, in mathematics. This is not equals to. So this is assignment operator. We have a lot of them. Like I said, when I get to the topic, I will break them down. This is just what? An assignment operator, which means, look at the word assignment. It's used to give. In other words, this is a container with a name called what? First name. Now, if I could just use my notes. Now, this is what we are saying. This is just like a container. Okay. Now, this container, this is the assignment. Then what we are putting inside is a carrier. Let's say we want to put my name there, Prosper. That is what we want to store in that what? Container. We want to store Prosper in that container. So this Prosper now needed a means of conveying itself into what? This particular what? Container. So the means or the medium in which the value or a value or set of values are saved or assigned or stored in a variable is through what? This assignment operator. So this is just like a pipe that is conveying this value into what? The variable. And the variable container name is what? First name. First name. That is the name of this container. I want to believe you understand the illustration, sir, before I proceed.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So now that we understand that, let me clear this so that we can complete the declaration. So now we have just indicated, if I run this code now, the error Python we output will be different because you have proceeded from where you were before. So this will capture another error. So let me run the code again and see, you see the error Python is outputting now is different from the first one. The first one is that name is not defined. It has not been registered. But now it's displaying an error that says what? Invalid syntax. Invalid syntax. That's what? Your rule is not correct. So now I know, and it's pointing at where the error is, that there's something you ought to put here that you have not. So as a sensible programmer, we know, oh, it's true. That means what? I have not assigned value. Now, the value you assign has a rule of assigning it in the variable. Like I said, which we will talk more about in the next section. If you are storing a number, there is a rule for storing it in a variable. But in this case, based on the tags, they say names, which means that what? They are strings. Strings in programming means what? Text-based data type. Anything that has to do with text like Prosper, Eloho, computer, mouse, these are text. So if you want to store any of them in a variable, the rule says that they must be quoted either with the double quote or single quote. Then you now supply the value inside. Okay? Now, unlike other programming languages that will always require that you should end this line of code before you start another one, Python uses the next line to close the previous line, which means that I don't need to put semicolon here like other programming languages before I can tell Python that I have come to the end of this code. Because once I type another code on a different line under it, Python will assume that you are using this to close this. So if I run the code now, you see that what? I get an output. Now that I have followed or obeyed the rule. So with this example, I have already explained the three sections. So this is the variable naming section. This is the assignment. Then this is what? The value, which gives us the complete variable syntax. Okay.
Sorry. Sorry. I just want to um how do I put it now? I understood what you have done so far.
Okay.
So um now for clarity's sake,
Mhm.
so all this like this one now, first name, you assign
Prosper.
Prosper to it.
Good.
So now I'm assuming that at the end of the day, do I say this first name equal to Prosper is at the back end? So what Python is displaying, which is Prosper, is what the end user will be seeing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So now remember the task is that, okay, let's create another variable holding the middle name. So let's say middle underscore name. The middle name is also a string. So let's say Aguero is the middle name. Then I want to create age. So age is a number. So this is a string variable. This is another string variable. Then this is what? Number variable. So variable are classified based on the type of data they are holding. So the reason why I said this is string variable because I'm storing what? String data type. So here now where I will say 80. So this 80 is a number. And when you are storing numbers in variable, you do not need to quote them. It's against the rule. So if by any mistake you quote any of these numbers, it then means that you have converted string to number type. So if I want to output the whole of this information by concatenating them. In other words, I want to display them at once on the same line. If I write the code this way now, let's say print, let's say print, and I call the first name. So I want to show you a logic because sometimes your variable name can be long in a way that each time you want to mention them, it becomes stressful. So what you do is that you type the first two letters, and then there is a key, there's a button on your keyboard that is labeled TAB, tab. So once you press it two times, while you are, as you want to call it, it's supposed to now it will call out what? All the keyword, all the registered words with that particular specified keyword. Okay, so now from here you can pick the one you want. This is the one you want. Now I want to concatenate it, so I'll put plus, which means that I am joining, I am printing multiple variable value. Then I will call what? Middle name. So I'll type what? MI and then the same tab, and then I should be able to see that did not bring it completely. So let's see, let's just type it. Let me see from here if I'll be able to get it. Okay. Or you can just copy and paste. Then if I also add plus and then age. So if I print this, Python is saying that what? Name middle underscore is not defined. So one of the variables is not properly typed. So let's see what is the error. Middle name, I think. Okay, now if you feel that is correct, and Python is still outputting error, then what you need to do is to reinitialize that particular cell by going in there. Then you can even see this color showing that there are some code within this place that have not been properly acknowledged. So just run that cell, and then you go back and run this particular cell. Then if you still show the error is different now. It's not the previous error. The error we are getting is that we are printing both number as string at the same time. So let's print, which is saying that you cannot concatenate because we are using concatenation concept. Okay, you cannot concatenate string and number at the same time. So if you want to do that, that means you have to convert it to string by putting, the string here, if at all you want to do that. Now, all these are displayed in one line. So this is inline display. What about if I want to display the first name and the middle name on different line? How do I go about it? So there is a function, an inbuilt. Okay, you have question? Go ahead, sir.
Okay, my question is, Prosper Aguero. So what if you want to concatenate it so that there will be space in between the first and the middle name?
Good. Now, if you
So,
want to do that, what you do is that you concatenate empty string. So you bring in an empty string here, and then you also add the plus here. So if I run it now, it will create the space. I've answered your question. Is that
yes,
clear?
yes.
Okay, so the next thing we want to look at is that I want from here to go to print under Prosper, not on the same line. So I will concatenate forward, backward slash, and end. So in Python, this simply means what? Prints in a new line. So if I run this and then there's an error, say unexpected what? Character. Uh, unexpected character. Okay, so let me see where the error is. I'm trying to see. So since we want to print in a different line, there's no point of concatenating. So we just bring in the backward slash and then put. Just want to see the one. Okay, now let me see if this concept will work. Okay, there are two different variables. So what we do, let's concatenate the new line. See if this way it give me what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm trying to achieve something, but let me see if I can try to achieve something. Let me see. Trying to see whether it's a perfect scenario for it. Since it's rejecting it, let me just go back to. So I will still touch some of these things, but it's like this does not go with the scenario that I'm applying it. So what I wanted to show us is that, which we are still going to learn probably when we start working with data type properly, is how to display a new line. All right, so I don't know, all these things you are supposed to be practicalizing them. Once I have done one, you do it, and then share your screen. I don't know if your computer is up now. Is it up?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I want you to perform this. Just run this code. Let me allow you to share your screen.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I got stopped at I've created the um
The
okay,
notebook.
let me log in. Let me log into the
Just share your
class with
screen. Let
my
me see what you are saying. Know where to.
let me log into the class with my laptop now.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
I'm not seeing your screen yet. I wanted to see what you are doing there.
yeah, just give me a minute. I'm trying to log in to the class with my laptop. It's, um, you know what, sir? Hello, sir. Just let's continue. I'll watch the video. Apparently this system I've not done Zoom with it before, so it's prompting me to download the Zoom Workplace app.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, so that I'll watch the video. I'll ask question. But what I wanted to ask was this, where I stopped following you, I started was I have launched the the Jupyter Notepad. I've launched it. So I've created a folder like you did.
Okay.
So I name it Learning Python. So now when I click new, that's to get a note, that's the notebook now, the notepad.
Okay.
So I'm seeing on the drawdown, I'm seeing Python in bracket, Conda, I'm seeing terminal, I'm seeing cursor, I'm seeing new file, and I'm seeing new folder.
Okay. What will happen is that, like you said, let's just round up. Then you go and complete all the tasks to exactly where I stop, and then we can now continue from there because you are supposed to have carried out those tasks before proceeding so that it doesn't get too much. So I'm going to stop here. So what you do is that let me prepare the video and send you the link. Then go through it, make sure that you are able to set up the development environment like you are highlighting now, and then be able to create variables and then just like what I've done. So I think that's would be a good point for us to continue in our next meeting.
It's okay. All
Uh,
right.
all right. So bye for now.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.